So now is definitely the time to invest as much as you can, and preemptively, right? Preventative. That's why we're here. Get as much stuff in order and hope that you're in a good spot. But I know I have a really good article from Zero Hedge I want to cover tonight. But otherwise, I'm excited to see if you have other stuff you want to talk about, Archie, as well.
No, man. You can never go wrong with investing in your own health. I took it upon myself here this last year to, get somebody to help me be accountable and to help me direct my diet, which was obviously Ryan here. I have a trainer here at home, and then also Dr. Shrednicki, Dr. Shredder, I call her, has been running blood tests, and I was just there in Arizona. I went stopped at her office, and she makes these vitamin cocktails for you and drips them in. And man, you just feel like $1 million. And but all the vitamins and supplements that she's got me on, she did more level checks. And I'll tell you what, it's like, it's one thing to go to the doctor and have them try and find something that's wrong with you and throw you some meds and maybe some x-rays or some MRIs and send you to a surgeon or all that kind of crap. But it's another thing when you have somebody who tests your hormone levels, your blood levels, your heart rate, your EKGs, your pulse rate, what's going on with your sugar levels, and just all around looking at everything from within, and then helping you to mitigate anything that's going on that's wrong. For instance, I had some cholesterol issues a few months ago, and now just through diet and taking the right supplements, this isn't even on drugs or anything anymore, but just supplementation, and boom, I got my cholesterol down into the proper ranges now. And then the other thing was, I just went for this last hormone test, and my cortisol levels are through the roof, like during the daytime. Like I wake up, everything's fine, but as soon as the day starts, my stress levels go bing, and they peg. And then, that's why I have so much trouble sleeping. So she's got me on some more stuff and of course, herbal supplements to mitigate the high cortisol levels. So it's good to have somebody that can actually, and I feel great. I just feel so much better than I ever have. And I'm not on any hormone therapies or anything like that. At 54, just starting to feel really good about my health, and I know a lot of it has to do with the 33 plus pounds that me and Ryan have taken off of my fat ass. And, it's funny, like when you hit a certain weight and you hit a certain age, when you start, when you pick something up, it like, you have to make a noise like, I don't know what it is.
It's a rite of passage.
It's like you start making noises. Well, guess what? I'm like picking things up the other day. I'm like, hey, I'm not making those damn noises anymore.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
I just recognize that, because it was like, usually I had to like put one leg down on the side here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always
yeah.
I did that. I just reached down, boom, pick something up, and like putting your socks on too. I mean, stupid shit like that. Like I can just throw my socks on, one standing up. And before I used to be like, oh shit, roly poly, fall my ass over type of thing, but just little things like that are making a big difference in my life, and just feeling so much better. And of course now the gym is starting to pump even harder. The diet thing is working even better. It's just so good. You just feel so much better once and I've been on the journey for a while now. Since October of last year, I started my cleanse and then went into it with Ryan a few months after that. So we've been working at it for a while. And it hasn't been like real fast progress. It's not like I went on a crash diet and dropped, 30 pounds in a month or whatever. It's been a slow progression. And, but I've been feeling it every step of the way, so it's been awesome, man. All-time highs will be coming. Once we bottom this thing out, all-time highs will be there. And it's, this dip here is shaking out a lot of crypto too. It is showing scams for what they are. This whole thing that happened with Celsius is absolutely disgusting.
But this is really important stuff. The oil chart I have up here as well to show you guys the trend that's going on here, right? We had this overall uptrend And we are now finding the important thing to know here is I showed this exercise earlier. This is all the way back to 2008, the great financial crisis, right? Where we hit all-time highs of what, about 146 a barrel. We are finding support at previous all-time higher. We have now found support on the monthly chart. Oil is going to go much higher, and that is absolutely a recession indicator as well. It's not 100% guarantee, but it is absolutely a big, big indicator because it impacts so much of the economy and the world economy, and all these things are intertwined. So you have so many of these things flashing issues, big issues, right? So there's definitely some more pain coming, but if you were smart, prepared over the past year, save money, live below your means, took care of your health, you're going to be prepared. And it's never too late to get started with that stuff, honestly. Especially as a Hexagon, you have even less reason to care about this. You have less reason to care about this shitty Bitcoin going down because your stuff is staked, printing you yield, and you're good. You're covered. Flawless uptime, immutable code. A leader that isn't afraid to have the honest conversations, and that will eventually shift the space's narrative. You just need to be patient. So while that's happening, while your Hex is printing, you can use your time to do more valuable things versus staring at charts and getting liquidated trading with leverage, like all these idiots are doing.
Yeah.
So spend your time wisely. Learn, improve, learn what the macroeconomics are doing because these are patterns. These are signals. They're going to tell us the same thing over and over again. So this high point here at 18, this is the interest rate that the Federal Reserve provides to banking institutions, right? And then they will lend those things out. So this is when Paul Volcker was ahead of the chair, right? This is in the 80s when we had record high inflation using a different CPI number. The CPI number we use now is not correct. If we use the 80s numbers, it'd be much higher. It'd be double digits. But this is 19%. So we complain about interest rates at like 1% now. They're at 19%.
They were at 19%.
So notice the trend. See how they get up higher here, and then it goes lower every time. So 1984, 11.5. 1989, 10%. 1995, 6%. They got a little higher just for a second. In 2000, guess what happened? The dot-com bubble crashed, right?
Wow.
6.5%. And then guess what? Came back up again. Guess what happened here? 5.25%. The 08 great financial crisis. And then we come down here and guess what happens? All the way from Obama on, 0.15, 0.2, just eensy peensy little baby shit nothings. And then they start raising. And people don't know this. The overnight repo market crashed in 2019. People don't even know that. We should talk about that in a different episode. But we got the 2.5% crash. COVID happened and it just absolute crash. And now look at this little thing over here. I'm going to zoom in. Look at this little baby shit increase. 0.77.
What's that right now? 0.75? 0.77.
We're not even at a full percent. And we think we're
they want to double it right now.
We think we're going to double and get up to 2.5. We couldn't even get to 2.5 before everything crashed. So when we're looking at a 30% drop in the NQ, the NASDAQ, on 0.75%, this is how you know they're full of shit. It's the narrative, right? They operate on narrative. So go off of what they say, not what they're going to actually do, because it's rarely the same.
Yeah.
And things are pretty dicey right now. I'm not going to lie. Anybody who's looking to retire this year is likely not anymore, or taking insane hits. I'm serious, and that's real people suffering from this. It's tough to see. So, I talked to my dad, for example. He's probably retiring in 7 years. He'll be good. He'll be in the next bubble. So that's what to pay attention to over the next couple of months here. I'm still going to stand by August. I think things are going to break so much in July that they're going to have to pivot in August. There's no way they can't.
Awesome. So, Mike, you're from Rapid Innovation, is that right?
Yeah. So, my full-time job, I'm head of business development at Rapid Innovation. So, Rapid Innovation is a blockchain development company. So, people who want to build. So, one of the employee perks is I get access to developers. Hence, how Hex Market was formed, or how we're able to execute on it. So, it's been nice so far.
Yeah. Awesome. So, it's launched. And at the moment, there's a few HSIs listed on it. Maybe just tell us a bit about your vision for hexmarket.com.
Obviously, now that we can use hex stakes and actually create NFTs out of it, what's really cool about it is the ability to either transfer or buy and sell. One feature, and actually 43OG got into this, but one idea that we have is how cool would it be if, for those that, well, first and foremost, the marketplace is exclusively for HSI. So we're not going to deviate into other NFTs or artwork unless an HSI attached to it. So there's a couple ideas on the roadmap, and Hedron staking as well. So we're quite excited.
Do you think that limits eyeballs, where you could essentially use that as a gateway to bring other people in and look at HSIs?
Yeah, so the idea, so to back up, my girlfriend's dad approached me the other day and basically said, "Hey, Mike, I'm interested in NFTs, right?" Now the go-to is the expensive JPEGs that he's referring to. And so a cool idea that, and this is all experimental, but one idea for ways to onboard the masses is how cool would it be to attach something that appreciates in value, at least in hex terms, to that art piece, but you almost have two competing, or I guess two market forces. You have the art side, the subjective perceived value, but then also the actual stake or stakes, because you can have multiple HSIs that are attached to the art piece. But step one, we just launched the basic marketplace, which is very simple, buy and sell, and then hopefully we'll be on PulseChain once that's out pretty soon.
Yep. So I'm just looking. There's a few HSIs listed there. So there's actually been sales transacted through this.
So I think there hasn't been a lot going on in the last week. So we're trying to get it going. I think one of the big issues is the gas fees.
Yeah.
And also just we're relatively new, so it's still up and coming. It's what I call a slow start. But yeah, our goal is just to keep producing as much as we can.
So I guess the big question is, okay, you've done this on ETH. Is it pretty seamless the way it'll fork over on the PulseChain?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. It should be pretty seamless. I will say that we set it up in a way where we can, at least in the short term, change up the contracts, or if something, for example, maybe want to include USDC, or when it goes on PulseChain, we want to take what we're learning now and then apply it over to PulseChain. So it should be pretty seamless. There's a couple of back end. Once PulseChain launches, there's going to be a lot of. We're going to need a few other infrastructure. Foundationally. So we'll see.
Yeah. I feel you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for anyone that's out there, PulseChain is very new, so it doesn't come along with all the fruit, the bells and whistles that Ethereum has. So there's things that the community, and when I say the community, the people building on PulseChain, there's things that we have to do and bolster out the services on the chain.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's going to be fun to see. It'll take some time. I think everyone just thinks that from day one there's going to be everything launched and everything will look good, but we'll see.
Right. That's the exciting thing. We get to be part of creating all of that and building that on PulseChain.
Yep.
So, Mike, how, like, if someone wants to list an NFT on your website, what's the process there?
Yeah, so you just have to log in with your MetaMask. You click on My Wallet, and there's a sell button right there. And then you can always delist it later. Like I said, the biggest hurdle is the gas fee. So this really only appeals at the moment for individuals that have larger HSIs. But hopefully with PulseChain that will fix that. But yeah, it's as simple as that.
So is it like connected to a contract that lists it? Like is it something that happens on chain? Yep,
it's all on chain. But you keep you still
Custody?
keep possession of. Yep, exactly. You still hold your NFT. It's just it's displayed, and then once a transaction, then it'll swap it out. And we're improving the user experience where sometimes you can list it, but then you can transfer it out. The transaction would fail if you actually went through with it. So we're improving the UX so it protects the user. They should see that the gas fees are going to say it's hard to calculate. I forget the exact verbiage, but yeah. So that's one area we're going to be improving on.
Okay, so I've never used NFTs in anger. What sort of fees are you talking to generate an NFT and get it up there?
Yeah, so to generate the NFT, you have to go through Hedron. So this is assuming you've already have your NFT or your HSI ready to go, and then you have to tokenize it. So yeah, you have to tokenize it, and then once it's tokenized and it's actually an NFT, and I'm not, maybe Blue Bum would be able to shed light on roughly the cost, but yeah, to list, I mean, I think it's like $30 or $40 or something.
Yeah, well, that's a typical transaction cost on ETH for pretty much anything these days, isn't it? Swaps. And...
Yeah, I'm actually looking now to see.
It's cheap, yeah.
It's putting it nicely. Yeah, so we'll see though. But hopefully PulseChain fixes that.
Yeah, I think we've. This has definitely shone a light on how important or why PulseChain was first of all brought to market. It's just screwed so many projects that could have done a lot better, just getting stifled on ETH. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Although gas would be pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, sure. In US dollar terms.
In US dollar terms, gas is cheap.
Now, well, that does a couple things. One, for an upcoming NFT artist, that puts value on day one. Two, you can add a royalty or a creator fee attached to it as well. So if it is popular, it does become popular, then you can receive royalties later on if people are buying and selling it. People could also burn it as well. But if it's popular enough, or if the hex stake, like if you have a 15-year hex stake, then it doesn't really... you might not want to burn it. So we'll see.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm a complete noob when it comes to NFT. So you've chucked out a few things there that I wouldn't mind circling back on. So the royalty thing. So that's what's done in NFT world is you can somehow code that into your NFT, and every time it's changed hands, you get a click of the sale. Is that how it works, or how?
Yep, exactly. So it's so on OpenSea, I think they call it a creator fee. We'll set it up where the artist or the creator can choose what their percentage is, right? So some individuals might say, "Hey, look, I don't want to have any sort of royalty. I just want to put 0 in there." Or you might have individuals who put 5 or 10%.
Can you tell us, what are the fees and what's the structure of that?
Yeah, for the marketplace specifically.
Yeah, not the not Ethereum fees. Just what is the marketplace going to charge for the facilitating the sale of an NFT?
Yeah, so our fees are 2.22%, and that's broken down into technically five different allocations. So the first one is a buy and burn of Hedron. So there'll be a wallet. Anybody will be able to call it, but ultimately it will buy Hedron on the market.
Is it 5 equal parts? Sorry, is it split?
So 4 equal parts plus the Hedron flow address is. So if you sum all that up, so it's 0.5555% for the 4, which I'll get into, and then the Hedron flow address of 0.15%.
Okay.
But for simplicity purposes, just think. 55-55. So 0.5555% is the buy and burn of Hedron. Then 55-55 for a buy and distribute to Hedron stakers. And then you have what we call the bonus wallet, which we're not quite sure what we're going to do yet. But ultimately, it'll either go back to the Hedron stakers, or we might create our own token. And then the hex market fee is also there as well. And then, so that's divided by 4. So 0.5555%, and then the 0.15% for the Hedron flow address.
And what can you tell me? What's that flow address? What is that flow address?
Yeah. So, and Blue Bum might be able to discuss specifics, but basically it goes back to Hedron as it's a recommendation on what Hedron would get once the HSI is sold. So that's their profit that they would get.
These NFTs, and they've got all different days they've been running, when they were created, etc. Do you think you're better off leaving the sale value to be speculative and people have got to form their own opinion, or having some sort of calculator where you can punch in a few numbers and go, okay, well, this should be roughly worth X, Y, Z.
Yeah, so there is, I agree so there's a couple things. First, we want to do some sort of auction. I think an auction feature would make more sense once we have a little more volume and eyeballs actually interested in the HSIs. So that would be one way to allow people to really gain the most value, or at least get a true value of what a hex stake is worth. And then on top of that, with the art feature where we're allowing people to combine an NFT art piece with a hex stake and attaching that, we hope that will provide an additional way to it's another way to it's other perceived value, and people will market it or view it differently. So like, for example,
also
if
someone in the
stake,
community who already makes hex art and hex memes could put one of their memes and then it's from that person, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to have a ranking. We haven't designed it yet, but there's going to be a page where once you create that or mint that NFT art with that hex stake or hex stakes multiple, then the community can vote to see which is their favorite. So like if there's one individual that has they have an awesome collection and they're ranked #1, well, people actually might perceive that at a higher value. And a good analogy would be, like, imagine if Richard Hart had an HSI, he created his own art piece, attached that HSI to it. I guarantee that would sell for a lot more than what that
like the diamond, like the black diamond on it or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a perfect example. So he bought that black diamond. He said he wants to create an NFT, and you guys know his stance on expensive JPEGs. And so now my goal is to have him say, hey, you know what? Expensive JPEGs aren't bad as long as there's an expensive HSI attached or expensive hex state that is attached to that art piece.
Now is the time at 2 a.m.
Labia chair.
At 2 a.m. Wow. What time zone?
Saw that.
Still rocking.
And Orlon, good morning. Alan in the house, as always. Crypto Gains Club. Nice to have you, Alan.
What's up,
Flat
guys?
Earth Underground. Good morning,
we got
everyone.
Flat Earthers in the house.
Yes. In effect, Spike.
Pancake people.
DJ D-Rash is in here. Yay, D-Rash.
DJ D-Rash.
Oh,
DJ D-Rash, yeah.
DJ D-Raj.
I wish I had a quick stream, but at my age, it's a slow trickle.
Everybody here.
There we go.
Yeah,
My man.
That was a good
My
one.
man.
Oh yeah.
Switzerland, yes.
So, everybody probably saw this one. But I got a special inside scoop. And I also have his streaming setup. So
The smiles are free.
Yeah. And notice all the hexagonal stuff is gone.
not even
That's
that.
I like the joystick especially. Or is that what he puts on his seat?
I mean, what did you say, Wills? You called Hex a pure market, right?
Yeah. So what that means is if you do technical analysis, it could be right for the moment, but then somebody could just come in and change that whole picture with a single transaction.
But the rest of crypto is like manipulated.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
I mean, you just go to Nomics and sort by transparency. Hex is on top.
No doubt.
It's kind of
Page
funny.
one.
They could get that right, but they can't get the definition of market cap right. Interesting, though.
Hex 97%.
Put on beard. The beard is not banned. He is welcome to the show. I saw the specter behind you again, Dustbomb. I'm freaked out.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. That's a good one. But you know what's funny? It's not entirely true because people were still tripping around 5-6 cents. They were tripping because it was taking so long.
People were tripping since 1 cent.
Yeah.
Nobody expected 1 cent. Everybody was like,
and then and then after we went after 1 cent, everybody's acting like, oh, it's just supposed to keep going up. And then every time it kept going up, people would complain with it and would just keep going up. It was the funniest thing.
This is, by the way, a quite old saying that was circulating around 2016, 2017, and that is the market usually gives you 2 chances, but almost never a third chance to get back into your position.
Wow, well done.
Shocked. I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked. So, I'm sorry. We go down with this. If this meme gets copyrighted,
It's
it
worth it.
was a pleasure to surf with you.
Yeah.
Copyright strike. Yeah, let's take a look.
Copyright strike. Here we come.
And the wind up is not worth it in the end. It'll just be kind of a.
It is, but this is-
Press elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1, mark.
This is us. Bitcoin
Yes.
dropping.
So far, there's no meme to it. It's just aliens.
This is the drop.
That was it. That's definitely a copyright strike, you idiot.
Of course we get a strike for that.
That was stupid to play.
The captain will be so mad.
It wasn't even memeified, bro.
I know.
Like, how was it not
No,
obvious?
it was
You have to do it yourself.
memes and
It's
memes.
a do-it-yourself.
It's almost there. At our fingertips. For everybody who missed the last stream, you should definitely see that one. That was hilarious. It was uncensored, tired, annoyed Richard Hart live on stream. Sharing
Classic.
His,
Yep.
classic Richard Hart.
Sharing his legs.
And all that.
His
Yeah.
life, his legs, his legacy, his information, his frustration, everything. It was glorious to see him like this. Unfiltered.
Those mom is like a kid in a candy store. Like, this is me.
Show me one victim.
I would like to, we need to have the
Illuminati.
Mulder and Scully theme. What is it? Da-da-da-dum?
Oh, yeah. X-Files. X-Files.
X-Files theme, yeah.
Hex Files.
X-Files, wow. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The one
Matrix
joke. You
joke.
can do now. Yeah.
Down. It's down.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually
Dumper
it's
and
the-
dumper.
Well, when they get to negative 37, they become the same.
That one. That was good. Yeah.
Zulu rug. Okay.
The Spades. It's a gang
It's
in the Bronx.
the magic carpet ride is coming soon. That's what it says.
We got Jessica Cater, head of institutional lending at Celsius Network.
No.
The helping hand.
Helping head.
No. What? Look at the blue. Look at the blue line over the word fuck. That's the best.
I don't know, maybe I'm retarded, but I don't think it's the same girl.
No, it's not. It's not right. It's not right.
From what I've seen, it's definitely the same chick.
It looks similar, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not judging. It's whatever.
They are called Jessica,
whatever.
so-
It's just a weird coincidence. 10 out of 10 if this is real.
Well, you know,
10
she had to get through
out of 10 for
college and
investigative giga.
The money.
she needed the money. She didn't realize that about crypto by the age of 20. 4 years later, she's at Celsius. It's okay.
Oh, but we can actually stay on topic for this meme, and it's gonna be a great transition for this one.
Yes, we know this. We know this. It is known.
Very interesting.
And I have, by the way, I have.
What do we have
something
with Hex? We have
Interesting how low we can go.
So
win whatever it takes at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's
But the writing
him
on
in
on the cap, that's pretty weird. Is that how it used to be?
80s. Yeah.
McDonald's?
back to basics.
All white.
Wow.
Yeah, you're
Dude, you guys didn't have a McDonald's birthday party when you were
But
growing
he
up?
was a manager, from what it looks like.
We
He was
had
a
Burger
manager.
King because there you get the crown.
Oh,
At McDonald's you get shit.
now they have a crown of sorts. It's made of French fries and
You
a
got-
shoelace.
You got air balloons at McDonald's though.
These are the clowns calling Hex a scam, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's the
He
interesting
posted
side.
videos
Hmm.
about him losing 200 million.
But just make sure you don't stake your coins for 15 years. That's clearly a scam.
I will have to move back with my mother and father exactly as I predicted.
Yeah, that's the real alpha by T-Bird. Yeah.
Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini.
Yep.
Just like Peter says in an outrageous accent.
I swear Peter is Italian on the low, and he's just not.
Because for everybody who missed it, that baby is running hot again.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
number
had a
one
good
position.
race. They had a great race this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was number one.
Dang.
Yep. Look at that.
Heck strong.
Damn.
Look at that beauty fly.
Wait, there's two of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
39.
Wow, there's a team.
Delicious. That bumblebee on the road.
Now it's
Yeah,
awakening.
and I saw the Twitter. There is like, I don't know, 50 likes or so per post from
Yeah,
that.
it's really a
cup or
shame
whatever.
because they're doing good stuff.
This one is the pink one from front, and this is the yellow one. I like the yellow one more.
Thanks for letting Also, what's really good is that the commentators on the, when they comment that race, they call it the hex.com car. So that's really
Nice.
awesome. It's getting mentioned multiple times there.
It's getting all over the place, and it's been multiple races, and like for hours,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah. Best advertising we have going right now. Literally.
Vroom vroom.
It's a
Wait.
shame the community doesn't acknowledge.
Wait, that sucks. There's no guns?
No.
How come? How about banana peels?
I think you're
Reminds me
gonna-
of that view actually reminds me of Rock and Roll Racing on the, Super Nintendo.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Nice.
Yeah, the community
Very
should
good.
push it more. I mean, it's to be fair, it's not NASCAR, it's the UK GT Cup on the meadows of Snetterton.
Snitterton.
And Dunnington and Huxington.
That's the snootiest sounding place on earth.
But still.
Because he's got a car between himself and the Ferrari, that's an important thing because it means that Jensen Lund is not under attack from the black Ferrari behind, Lucky Kira, because whilst the Lamborghini leads Group GTC, the Ferrari is second in the group, so keeping that bit of traffic between you is a good thing. And this could be a change for the lead of Group GTH, Adam Hatfield, the former champion, right alongside Chris Hart at the wheel of the Make Happen Racing Mercedes, who has done enough at the moment to try and keep him at bay, and they both need to watch their mirrors because Ian Campbell at the wheel of the GT3 car is trying to carve his way through the order after his problems on that one.
This is the perfect moment for Adam Hatfield now. He should let past Ian Campbell, and hopefully going into the fast left-hander of Hamilton's, Ian Campbell will make the move on him. So this could really bring Adam Hatfield into field.
Brilliant driving by Chris Hart. He was not going to let Ian Campbell through. He brought the car to the left-hand side, heading in towards Agostini, knowing that for a split second then there'd be a gap between the pair of them, but then driving
it was
through
only
on
in
the
the
way
beginning,
up towards
actually.
Hamilton.
Yeah, well, that's all that counts. They're in the front. There we go.
I mean, there were multiple ones. So actually, in one of the shots, you can see from inside the car, and it hit me like I never thought about it, but like, wait, there is no leather seats and no equipment inside? What the hell? I thought,
Oh, you didn't know?
yeah, no, I didn't know.
You don't know.
I mean, it makes sense that it's just a bare bones and machine inside and everything.
Sure.
But I just never thought about it, about the
Yeah.
concept of, oh yeah, it's probably not full leather.
Yeah,
and
you
not
just
a normal
not in the
Lamborghini
cars like
you-
that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have another question. Copyright?
Or copyright.
Yeah, well, now it's lower. Now the new bottom is like 10% lower, so at 3 cents. Yeah, at 3 cents. So this didn't happen in the previous cycles where we had a massive wick with all the orders on Marcha and on 1 inch, buying it up immediately again. And now we're a little bit lower. So all the doomsayers are for now right. We are below the capitulation wick.
So it's
and
going
we
to
don't
zero,
know what's
you're
going to
saying?
happen because it's the new thing happening.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
you-
whatever will happen.
No. But your analysis wasn't wrong as such because, again, like we spoke about 2 weeks ago, nobody can foresee a giant whale coming along and dumping his full positions, million of hacks in one giant market dump. You can do all the TA you want. If something like this happens, it totally blows out any analysis. So technically, okay, you kind of were wrong, but you were not wrong.
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say.
So, and it wasn't just the one whale. So more people also got fudded out. What a friend of mine noticed that I didn't see is that the whale bot, the Hex whale bot, was printing out lots of emergency end stakes.
Yes, on Saturday we
They're-
had a 6.7 payout and
Yeah.
12, 13 million penalties. I don't
Thank
even
you,
want to know
guys.
how many millions that was in market dumps.
Yeah, everybody who is staked got that payout. They got that higher payout. So the strong hands are not refunded, rewarded. They are rewarded, and the weak hands capitulated. They sold off the hex, and because they didn't honor what they promised, having their stake for as many years or as many days as they put it in, they lost out on it. They were penalized for it, and this was redistributed to the believers of the system. Hex flowing from.
Someone wants to fight with you. Come on.
I didn't say it was the bottom. I just said
No.
that the previous
Not the
capitulation
new.
wick was broken, which is different from what we had in the past.
Meh. Pulse not launching for a long time.
And
What's long time? Is it ETH 2.0 time? 'Cause
So
we will get
I think
here
that,
sooner.
I think that narrative that ETH isn't or PulseChain isn't launching for a long time is a little played out now, right? I mean, it's already been a year. How much longer do you think
Yeah.
people are not going to figure that out?
Yeah, right.
And we
Also,
talked
it's a
about it
new
in the last
set of
stream. Yeah.
Sacrifice points today being published.
Hey!
Check your balances.
Pretty much.
Hey! And if they're wrong, don't complain. Let's get on with the show.
Well, mine are the same, but I also didn't sack any Luna or something.
10K, almost there.
That's right.
Good
He's
morning,
like the
Hector.
famous
Thanks,
Amos
guys.
cookie right there. Didn't he say 11,000?
Yeah, he said because it's like 66, 65 instead of 60K, it's gonna go more but like 11,000. But 10K was his first prediction at around 60K, so he had to adjust it a little bit higher up.
It's funny because his finger right there is just accurate on the time frame of this trajectory, isn't it?
No.
If it hits right on that finger, I'm gonna give whoever made this meme a Coke. Can we chart that every show? Every show we should chart exactly how close it comes to his finger.
I'd have to redo it myself though. Then
It's a little bit of effort, but it's a labor of love. You want to. You do want to. In between your move and, wrapping your car with. Hey, how's that going for you, by the way? The wrapped car around your neighborhood. Are people still turning their heads and saying, "Wow, what is this hex thing?" Mhm.
Yes, it's like being a girl and everybody's watching you, so kind of cool. It's turning heads and it's
Vivian
especially with
Crypto-
children, like they see the colors and it's like they say, "Papi, look, what's that? What's that?" And like, "Come, look at this."
And you say, "Get away from my car, children." Let me talk to your parents, though.
I'd rather be in this chart than in this chart.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't show. Oh no.
Doesn't
why?
show.
Why?
Nope.
No, maybe. Yeah.
Ah, that's lovely. And what chart is this per qual?
It's a copycat.
That copycat that shall not be named that locked up their liquidity in Uniswap V1.
Yep, exactly that one.
Nice.
You staked Yearning API. Instead of trying to trade, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, instead of trying to trade all the up and down and having all this mumbo jumbo TA and having sleepless nights and so on that I had before when Bitcoin, and waking up at 3 a.m. checking, is my trade still in? It's so much easier to just be staked and gain that interest and say, okay, 3-4 years.
Yield, not
let's
interest.
see. Sorry, yield. Yes, yield from inflation. 3-4 years, let's go. Why trade the up and downs if I can just take all the way up?
Yeah, that's a great point. I was talking to somebody on the chat today. There seemed to be a misconception from a person that although they had Hex, they kind of felt that it was either you're staked or you have liquid, or you separate between staked and liquid. I spent some time to tell them about the idea of the staking ladder and how you can, there's so many different variables that you can consider when creating your staking ladder. It's not just throw it out 15 years and 10 years and 5 years. You have to actually consider the months within the year for the frequency of the stakes that are coming out. You can consider times in your life A gentleman of my years may be thinking of his children's graduating from college, a college tuition, them getting married, them needing down payment for a house, needing cars, etc., etc., etc. All those things can play into the next 15 years for me. There's not only that, but also the cycles of various markets, not just crypto market, which would be the 4-year cycle that is more or less the Bitcoin cycle, but also the extended housing bubble now that used to be every 7 years we would see a cycle, and various other geopolitical issues that you think are going to be resolved on a certain schedule. You can work those all into your staking ladder. The end.
Lifting those heavy bags.
Oh, that's great.
That's pretty long, though.
That is. It's good. It's effective.
Walking on fighting side of me. It don't. It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It don't go down.
Oh!
This is the Bitcoiner, right? This is like the average Bitcoiner guy. He's like, oh no, it's not. There isn't. It's fine. It's just a turnaround. But then it goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally happened.
That's
but
pretty
I'm still
accurate. Yeah, that's funny as hell.
Oh.
So, did I do the count
He
yesterday?
said
It was
155 last stream, and now you saying 200? No.
So hold on, we've gone 260. Hold on, we might be at 269 days so far, not including the day. So if we do 365 minus 269, that should give us like 149 days. Oh, whoa, false, even less. 96 days left for us.
Now I'm happy.
How many times have I talked about Metaverse, Web3, and all the rest of that? Those that understand the aspects of wallets control everything because you can future project on what they will do. It's just like the Fed, whereas like Wales can look at the Fed and laugh because he understands how this shit works. It's really not that hard because they put shit in plain sight.
The King, what's up? The producer, how you doing?
Mr.
Bang,
Producer,
bang.
how you doing, Crypto King?
What's going on? Shout out to all the stakers out there. We hit over 95,000 on Staker app. Congrats.
Nice. It's only a matter of time, man. It's a matter of time.
95,000 wallets. Nice.
It's a little game of Katamari. If you don't know the game, just pay attention. It'll get bigger.
How many
Slow and
people on
steady.
stream have more than 3 wallets?
I control a hell of a lot of wallets.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you only had like less than 3. Who only has 3 wallets? That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, right.
I have to go to 4 different states to collect all my wallets.
I mean,
come on, man. When we were waiting for airdrops, I know everybody's got about 20, 25 wallets when everyone was expecting it.
Right?
Yeah, hopefully the MetaMask fucking
Lol,
like
Sammy
airdrop.
says.
Motley spent like $1 million, I think, on wallets
I
trying to
told
wait for
Molly
that.
with that. I spent like 4 ETH fucking like trying to fucking do wallets for that shit.
Yeah.
Kids had money to burn back
We
then.
have 100,000, but there's really like 1,300.
Yeah, speaking of wallets, I'm hoping that somebody adds an alert for Hedron minting before you end your stakes on your either Staker app or
I did that the other
the front
day.
end.
I ended
Yeah,
a
that
stake
pisses
and
me
I
off.
forgot to mint my Hedron. Oh man, I was so pissed at myself.
I know. Me
I
too.
actually did it.
But I was
as,
like, well,
as
it's only
stupid
worth
as smart as I
26
am, I did the
cents.
same thing, Ken. Like I had
Same.
I had my
I'm
1 2 year
spewing.
stake, and I was just like exhausted, and I'm just like, "Fuck, I gotta do this shit." And like a day after that, when I had slept,
like,
I'm
"No!"
fucking shit. And like, it's not like I don't talk to Alex, so it's just like I know the shit. But
yeah, And everybody, I think everybody's grossly underestimating the power of Hedron. I really
know
like
for a
that.
fact
I mean, what
for a
was it?
fact
Almost
there.
3 years ago, Roy, before I even built your background, when I talked about wrapping a fucking card game, wrapping it in T-shares, 3 years ago? Hedron has a lot of power. It just needs to, I can't say shit, but let's just say there are people working on pumpamentals as eaters, like Pac-Man. And if you think that Hedron, because of that 10x bonus, can go away, realize that 100x eater on the other realm will completely consume it. If you don't understand that, that is not my problem.
I don't get it.
I didn't understand what you just said. But I will say this.
You definitely
You
did,
have
because I
said-
talked to you on the phone about it. You definitely
Yeah,
are
but the
lying.
way you just put it right there, you lost me. And that's not too hard. I'm not the smartest guy on this stream, but I will say this.
But you're a handsome devil.
Well, my wife.
No, he's
thinks
smarter
so,
than he
I
is
appreciate
handsome.
that.
That's for sure.
That might be true. That might be true.
I had to say it.
But we've had this conversation, Kool-Aid, that I mean, Hedron truly is a steam engine, and people, I don't think a lot of people, because they're seeing how many there are. What is it, 80 trillion potential Hedron out there, but they're not seeing that it becomes rare as T-shares become rare, just like in the Hex system, and it's only a matter of time. And there's a burn function where there isn't with Hex, a permanent burn function when people
And that's
are
what we're
buying
building on
these
top of that. It's multiple burn
HSIs.
functions. But remember, Ken, the first thing is Hedron. What Alex built was the first POT, proof of T-share. That's it. That was the very first.
That's not what POT spells, bro. Just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Grammar master,
Coffee's not impressed.
no, he is not.
Sound like an old man. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, cute.
That was funny. Did not expect that.
Yeah, but like if you poo-poo Hedron, it don't.
So is the
understand
HSI stakes, is that going to be the burning mechanism when people
Nah.
do the
Anytime you do something
auction?
in the system and you use Hedron for it, that shit is gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, what do
So
you
if somebody
use
did a
Hedron
lot of
for?
stuff in Hedron, then there'd be a lot of burn-in.
Mm-hmm.
You may know someone that may be building something like that. It's the thing is that once the cap comes off, it's done. If you had a whole bunch of it for cheap, you're good. Just don't fucking dump it. Problem is
So
that
when-
you have the 10x bags, they're just
That's
dumping
beautiful. Everyone thinks it's just something they can dump to zero, and they're going to be sorely mistaken when it is as rare as Hex is. Just wait, guys. When it's as rare as Hex
T-share.
is.
It's based on not just on the hex, it's the T-share.
I don't see it
Oh, yeah.
becoming as rare as Hex, though.
Mm-hmm.
How?
So when's the sacrifice phase for Kool-Aid coin?
Nope.
Can I
Yeah.
send Hedron?
Nothing against I love you, community, for building. Thank you guys so much. You guys are building pretty freaking cool stuff out there. But if we ever do a coin, I'm not doing a sacrifice phase for it. Like that shit got on my nerves real quick. 10 sacrifices deep.
Yeah, and there's
Well, the
a
thing is,
lot
that
of Hexagon
sacrifice
money out there,
allowed
too.
the OA to offset its assets into a different OA, which is a different OA, which is a different OA. So there's a game theory, particularly the term sacrifice. But if you're not the OA, you're not moving your asset from asset to asset to asset to offset it. So it's different.
Yeah, it's still liquid.
Correct.
It's different than the OA doing it, and different than the Hex Investment Trust and how it handles its Hex.
And can you tell me more, Captain?
Please,
So-
please, Captain, tell me more about this.
So-
It's MC what? MCA.
Well, MCA has absolutely nothing to do really with the Hex Investment Trust. It's a completely separate product, a completely separate offering. And
Sure.
right now it is only a private offering. And now I'm not the smart one here. Like Wells and KNTX, these guys build
Oh,
this
dude,
thing.
I just got told how dumb I am, so it's cool. I'm sure someone smarter than me can
I said
explain
you're
it.
smarter than you are pretty.
Yeah. Well, it's not saying much, right? So-
We all know RG3 is
But
the eye
guys,
candy.
The Hex
That's
Investment
right.
Trust, these guys are so brilliant what they did. And I know this was their idea, was that, I mean, as soon as they said we're going to do this, they said this hex that goes into the Hex Investment Trust is going to be non-redeemable, meaning it's never coming out. It's regulated, it's under SEC rules, and legally it can't come out. So it's actually, and I dare to say it because of blasphemy and feedback from the community, but it's stronger than the OA.
Not only
Technically,
is
Well,
it stronger
at
than
least
the OA
legally,
because
there's
the OA doesn't know who owns it. This is a legal, bonded, fiscal thing that has regulation.
Exactly.
But what it does
it locks up Hex forever. Forever.
Yeah, but think about it like it's
Forever.
like
Legally
adopting
locks
a
it up.
pig.
You don't have to worry about that African priest unlocking its OA.
Only Nigerian priests
It's like an instant boating accident. Your Hex is gone. It's gone.
It's like that jewel in the end of Titanic. Fucker's gone.
Right.
Or the jewel at the end of the Nile.
So
you guys
I
allowed
do
to
want to
talk
throw
about
this
the
out here for
functionality
one
of the
Hexy
investment
mofo.
trust?
Says, how much more does the Hex Investment Trust need before going full public? Well, let's just say, since it started getting funded, the value has gone down based upon the Hex price. So, but that's actually a good thing. And let me tell you why. Because if we were to raise the full $10 million value to go public today at this Hex price, you could easily see your IRA, your self-directed IRA or 401k do a 10, 100, dare I say 1,000x return over the next 2-3 years. So could you imagine that? Could you imagine seeing a $10 million private trust go public and then it do 100x? $1 billion in assets under management. You don't think that would bring some press, some virality, some eyes to the Hex ecosystem?
I just want to make BitBoy cry. I literally either want to make him sock puppeted and then make him cry, or I just want to have him cry on screen. Once I have that, I will be happy.
I think that BitBoy is probably looking at his Hex holding as his best holding, and finally
the one that he sold,
yeah, he's just holding on to it right now, I think. But man, and that's the best crypto has to offer right now. To be honest, he's their best, and he's still not even close to being the caliber of the weakest of us Hexicans.
I think that probably the best influencer I've ever seen is Wendy O. She's nice, she's quip, she's smart, and she's open. And
she's open definitely to talk. I've talked to her in private a few times, and
she seems
local
genuine.
And she is genuine. She just doesn't understand. She's kind of new to the space. She only came onto the scene after 2018. In 2018, right. So she came on the scene when the bear was starting and in full force, and she's been building since then. She's very, very smart. She does very good marketing for her channel and all that kind of stuff. She's obviously got an awesome look and an awesome attitude, and
I think she generally cares too.
Well.
It's the one thing. It's the actually,
and she cares, and she likes the Hexican community. Even though some of us have gone after her, she likes the fact that she had an interview with Richard, and he was cool about the
two
interview.
of them, wasn't it? Two of them.
Yeah, I think she did 2 interviews with him. I think so.
I like Adam Stokes. We kind of watched him turn his face toward
Adam
Hex.
Stokes was one of the bigger goats.
Adam Stokes cool.
Adam Stokes was like when Steph came out before I even built Cap's background. When Steph came out with Staker app, that's where you can see the community folding and building on top of itself. Adam Stokes' interviews, he's a fantastic closed mind, that not closed mind, but like a closed ecosystem that actually has an open mind to everything, and he puts it all in front of you. Adam Stokes is dope as fuck. But like when we think about the Adam Stokes and the Wendy O's, they're very different from Altcoin Daily or fucking God. Who the fuck did I used to really like?
Portnoy.
No.
Digital asset news.
What was that, Chris?
Digital asset news.
No. Actually, the fucking
Elio crypto.
Yeah, Elio. Well, Elio
Elio
Schills.
trade.
Elio
Oh my
waves.
God.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
I love the wrecked archive of
Elio.
Hexologist putting
Hexologist
on Elio.
destroyed him,
Every
man.
time he showed something, he shows the date of that video. It was at the top of the chart, and then he shows him going to zero. Like he's got like 30 of them that he can show you.
Hexo just destroyed him.
Yep.
Good old Hexo. How does he do it? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's doing good, man. He's doing good. He's
enjoying
eating
life.
well and spending money and traveling and having a good time.
Good. Yeah, Hexo's one of the few that I have not met. I still have not met Ken. I still have not met Hexo. So like,
Yeah,
he's
they
on
don't
Hexo
make
didn't
better
like to
men.
spend his money.
They don't make better men than Hexo. They're just
He's a
they
good
just don't.
dude. Quality.
They don't make them better.
Well, the thing is, it's like coming from
Or
like
bigger.
He's not just saying that because he's nuts to butts in a cabin in Georgia.
Hey,
Idaho.
that's my boys. That's my boy. Easy on my boy.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
But like at the end of the day, simply what I can say on public-facing forums is that if you have a community built to do something, as long as you can reconcile that with payment, which is valued to what they are doing, then it works. It's like advert. Google AdSense is just a being that accepts payments to ship their ads. Nothing more, nothing less. It's very, very simple.